Hi guys, thank you for joining me in another video. My name is Aamir. I make videos about Google Sheets. Today I want to teach about linest and longest function. However, that deals with the data on a graph, as well as the last two videos that I made also dealt with the graph, which was growth and trend. Therefore, I would like to make a basic video on how to create a graph. So let's go to basics. You see what we talked about previously. There we go. So let's talk about why do we create graphs. So one reason people create graphs, it is excellent for visualizing data, and it is also great for telling stories. For example, if you look at these numbers, apple, cherries, and dates, you can't really tell a story. You don't really know how the number is going up or down at what ratio. But if you have them all besides each other in a graph, you will know which one is growing faster than the other, and which of these fruits is doing the best. So to create a chart, you need data. So this is basically the given data, which we know goes into x-axis. Anything that is calculated or surveys or we find out from a given data, for example, the number of apples sold, that is something that we have to find out, or either it has to be calculated, so that everything like that goes on the y-axis. And our data has x and y values, as I shared. X values are given, as I explained. Y needs to be calculated, a result from a survey. So here we have 5 values. Let's see how to create a graph for this one. So I select it including the title, and I go to insert, chart, and there is the data right here. I put this down. So as you can see, we have the year, and the year is on this axis, which is known as the x-axis, and then you have the apple, which was on the y-axis, and this vertical axis is known as the y-axis. So this starts from 848, and this is right below 1,000. So this is probably 848, and it is going up each year. This 2011, it was 1187, 1187, and that is roughly around that much. As you can see, you simply take these values and just plot them on a graph. And now if I double click on it, it will give me this chart editor, and basically no matter where I click, for example here I'm clicking the title, and now it's giving me the title option. So you have the title, which is here. You can change it. You can say fruits versus years, and it will show up. You can also click on it, center it. You can change it to italic, bold. You can change the font. You can click on this if you want a chart subtitle. You can do that as well. You can name it, let's say example for YouTube video. Click enter, also center that, and let's make it blue. You can also click the horizontal X title if you want, as is already there, and then vertical, and that's already there also. Instead of apple, you can say fruits. But let's say you wanted to do something with the line. Where do you go from here? You simply click on the line, and that will change the title from there. So as you can see, it is looking at the apple option, not just, so we call it fruits, but it's only looking at the apple option because that is what we had selected, the data. and you can change the thickness if you wanted. So now it's dashed lines. You can make the points in here thicker. You can make it as triangles if you wanted, or you can make it give it a star. And if you want to make it bigger, you can make it bigger. Right now it is using the left axis, but if you wanted, you could also change it to the right axis. So it depends on your preference. If you want to do something with the vertical axis, you click on it and the setting will change here. So if you wanted to make the font bold, you can. If you wanted to make it bigger, you can show axis line and it will show it, make it darker, but in our case we won't do that. If you want to start it from a minimum value, for example, let's start from 800, and it would, and let's say a maximum of 4,000, and it would do that. Or let's say you want to compare it for 10,000, it would do that, and now the values are so small. But we'll just take it out. We'll make sure that it does it automatically. So I'll click on here because it looks weird when it's bold. So I'll just change the font, make it auto, and uncheck this too. So this is the first basic video, simply saying that when you want to create a graph, you can just select on the data and the graph will appear. And anything you want to change on here, for example, you want to change the horizontal axis title, you can click on it, change anything about it. You want to change the vertical, you can do that. You want to change the vertical axis, which is relates to this one, you can change that too. You want to change the horizontal axis, you can do that too. You want, and you're given extra options if you right click on it. And so what if we want to look at, so right now we just looked at the year and apple. What if you want to look at all the fruits? So I simply delete this chart, and now I select all of these, go to insert chart, and it will give you this data. So this chart that it gives you is basically what Google automatically assumes that you want this. It's assuming that you need a line graph, and therefore based on the data it gives you a line graph. And let's see, if you want to change the chart, you simply click on here, the chart type, and you can change the data. So currently this is what it's suggesting, and that's what is given. It's also suggesting an area chart. Basically it's just like a line graph, except now from the second line to this line, now this area is what is covered by the grapes, and everything in between, this is cherries and these dates. But you can also change the graph to, let's say, a column graph. Now if your class or school or assignment requires that, you choose that. But let's say if you want a pie chart, you can do that too. So pie chart, make sure that if this circle is 100%, then how much of that each fruit is contributing. And you can also have a donut chart, or let's say you have gauge chart. So it's given this data, but we may not have a clue what it means. Let's look at a table chart. So table chart is simply what we have here. So it's given us exactly what we have selected, except we just called it a table chart. You can also have this but 3D. You can also have a bubble chart. Let's try that. And let's pick something else. You can also choose the water graph. Let's see something else. You can also create a radar chart like this. That's all I wanted to share with you guys. Basically, I wanted to show you that you can make a graph out of a data in Google Sheets, and if you want to change the setting of any one of them, you simply click on what you need. It will basically open up the proper setting for you that you need to change, and you can change it. So let me know if you found this helpful. This is just the very basic of charts. I will create another chart video after this, and then I will talk about my next function, linest versus longest, and from there on we can tackle the other functions. Alright guys, thank you so much for supporting this channel. I will try my best to create at least 2 videos per week. I look forward to creating the next video, which I am already working on. If I put this to the side, so as you can see, I'm working on charts, all the different types of charts there are, and when they should be used, and some notes in between. So this is still in process, and by next video I should have this completed, and then the video after that I will be talking about linest and longest, and then we can go from there. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Kindly like, share, subscribe this channel with your friends and family. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.